Wat Kahnawà Sewa Guego de Justoguate Ige, says Chief Jessica Lazare. I'm just gonna, I guess, update you on the past couple months of work that I've been working on. I know that it's been about 3 months since the last time I did a Chief's Uncut, and there's been so much going on in my portfolios. So I'll start with the beginning or the end of January, beginning of February, some of the work that I've done within the consultation portfolio and the consultation committee. So I attended the Indigenous Capacity Support Conference in Ottawa, and I went alongside some members of our consultation committee to participate, and Chief Ross Montour, as well as our legal services Francis, did a presentation on the different consultation files and what the cumulative impacts mean for us. So essentially that conference was about cumulative impacts and impacts assessments and the Impacts Assessment Agency of Canada as well, and how they are working for us and not working for us. And there was a lot learned from that conference, that a lot of Indigenous communities across Canada are dealing with similar, if not worsened conditions in terms of cumulative impacts with their livelihoods, with their communities, with their lands and territories. Further into the months, I guess, I went to the Language Forum in Toronto, and I was invited by a friend of mine who works for the Chiefs of Ontario, Angel Miracle, and she wanted me to participate in this conference because she felt it was important for me to be there as a Heritage Portfolio Chief, even though it was for Ontario-based communities, and it was hosted by the Chiefs of Ontario, being from Quebec, but also being from Kahnawà and Mohawk community. It was important for, I guess, our participation because of how far we've come within our community for the language, with our culture, and the different resources that we have to support that, and our education center as well, in terms of the Mohawk language immersion that we have within our schools. What else has been done? Oh, the portfolio allocations were completed. Well, not completed, but there was a portfolio review. And there were allocations that were completed as well, due to the fact that we had 2 chiefs step away from their roles, and then 2 new chiefs come on to fill those seats. So there was a little bit of shifting of the portfolios. I had taken on an extra, I guess, portfolio, so to speak, by working and having an interest in a file. So I have taken on the Joworodu file within the Lands and Territories portfolio. I'm just getting acclimated to that, and I'm just starting to understand like the inner workings of what happens behind the scenes, and what takes place, and all the decisions that are to be made in order to make the best decisions for the community as a whole. My interests lie in that file because of growing up in Joworodu, going there a lot of times. My family is there a lot. And I essentially spent my summers there. So for me, it's a passion. It's almost a personal thing that I want to make sure that that territory is sustained and is there for future generations to come, and that we can protect it as much as we can, and ensure that all community members can have safe and easy access to the territory and throughout the territory. Another thing I participate in is in Kahnawà and Ottawa Dialogue Knowledge Exchange. So that was an event that took place at the Mohawk Trail Longhouse, and it was a knowledge exchange between our governance perspectives as well as the governance perspectives of other I guess, other forums. So some of the participants that were from the Ottawa Dialogue Network were there to speak about their peacemaking roles within war-torn countries. And there was a lot of similarities with how we handle ourselves and how we carry ourselves in terms of conflict resolution and trying to find solutions for that, and what they've experienced as professional peacemakers within their roles. So it was interesting to see the extreme, I guess, the extreme examples, but having such grounded similarities in terms of trying to find peace and trying to find common ground between conflicting groups of people, so to speak. Another thing is, I guess it's a little bit more exciting, I attended the Canadiens Indigenous Celebration Night. That was to receive a check of $30,000 for the multi-purpose building, which is going to be our new cultural center. So we're very grateful for that. Carrie Price was the one to present the check, and the representatives from the building committee were really excited and really happy to receive that amount of money for the cultural center. There's a lot of work going on, and I'm sure that in the coming months, in the coming weeks, you will find a little bit more online. We'll have a little bit more press releases and more information for you regarding the building project and how long that's going to take and what stage we're at with that. And I invite you to, email me, email Trina, email Lisa in order to get a little bit of an update. And if you want to find out more how you can support the project, let us know. We'll be able to navigate you to the correct website and the correct resources. Another thing is I attended the standing committee on the Bill C-21. So that was a bill that was being passed relating to the restrictions and the criminalization of certain firearms, and I felt it was important that the governments, I guess the Canadian governments, understood where we were coming from as Indigenous people, as a Kahnawà, that we weren't adequately consulted with, we weren't adequately, I guess, given enough time to be able to consult with our community, to be able to consult with our people. And that was the message that I brought that day. I'm sure you can find it, find my 5 minutes online somewhere that I had given to the standing committee and some of the questions that they've asked me. And I just basically reiterated the fact that they need to consider Indigenous peoples at the forefront when it comes to trying to make legislation that deeply affect our traditional rights and our traditional practices. So I think that summarizes most of the stuff that I've been up to in the past couple months. I thank you for listening. Yawa.